Imagine standing beside a campfire in Africa 100,000 years ago. Night has swallowed the landscape. Beyond the firelight, predators wait in the darkness. Around the flames, a choice is quietly unfolding. One man has the kind of symmetrical face that modern magazines might celebrate. Another has a broken nose, scars across his cheeks, and rough features shaped by hardship. Yet the women keep glancing toward the scarred hunter. Why? Have human standards of beauty truly changed? Or have they merely hidden something much older? Beneath every culture, every fashion trend, and every dating app lies an ancient biological program. One that evolved for survival long before civilization existed. Evolutionary biologists describe this hidden calculation as mate value, the combination of traits that signal genetic quality and the ability to help raise surviving children. For most of human history, these signals were not measured by wealth, fashion, or social media status. They were written directly onto the body. One of the most influential ideas is the immunocompetence handicap hypothesis. Testosterone helps shape masculine features such as a pronounced brow ridge, a strong jaw, and a broader face. But there is a cost. High testosterone can suppress parts of the immune system. In other words, building a highly masculine face may require a body strong enough to withstand this biological burden. That means an exceptionally masculine appearance may have acted as an honest signal. It quietly announced, "My immune system is resilient enough to survive despite the cost." Scars carried a similar message. To modern eyes, they may seem like imperfections. To ancient observers, they could tell a completely different story. A healed wound meant the person had faced dangerous animals, violent conflicts, infections, or harsh environments, and survived. Every scar became a record of endurance rather than failure. Of course, scars alone never guaranteed a good partner. A reckless man could collect scars just as easily as a capable hunter. Evolution favored patterns, not certainties. People unconsciously combined many signals before making a choice. But here is a question for you. If you had lived 100,000 years ago with no hospitals, no police, and no supermarkets, would you trust the perfectly handsome stranger? Or the survivor whose body had already proven it could endure the world's dangers? Imagine you could choose only one partner. One is fearless, physically dominant, and admired by everyone around him. The other is dependable, patient, and always returns with food to share. Which choice would give your children the greatest chance of surviving? Evolution suggests there was rarely a perfect answer. Researchers often describe this as the trade-off between the CAD strategy and the DAD strategy. A CAD invests heavily in attracting mates. He displays confidence, strength, competitiveness, and often the physical traits associated with high testosterone. These characteristics may signal strong genetics, but they do not necessarily predict long-term commitment or parental care. A dad, on the other hand, invests more energy in protecting a partner and raising children. Reliability, generosity, emotional stability, and cooperation become his greatest advantages. These qualities may not attract immediate attention, but they dramatically improve the odds that children survive through years of illness, hunger, and uncertainty. Modern evolutionary research suggests that women's preferences are often flexible rather than fixed, in some contexts, particularly for short-term attraction. More masculine features can become more appealing. For long-term partnerships, however, qualities such as kindness, trustworthiness, and willingness to invest consistently tend to become far more important. Human mate choice has never been driven by a single trait. It has always balanced genetic quality with the practical demands of raising a family. So here's another question for you. If survival depended not only on having children, but on helping them reach adulthood, which man would you choose? The strongest hunter for one season, or the reliable partner who would stand beside your family for years? This may sound surprising, but in most hunter-gatherer societies, the best hunter was not the one who kept the most meat. He was the one who shared it. Anthropologists studying groups such as the Hadza and Ache found that skilled hunters often distributed their catch throughout the community. Those who bragged, hoarded food, or tried to dominate others were often mocked or pushed back by the group. Why? Because survival depended on cooperation, not individual wealth. A generous man built something more valuable than personal riches. He built trust. When his family faced illness, injury, or famine, that network of relationships could return the favor and help keep his children alive. What do you think? In a world where everyone depended on one another, would you choose the richest hunter? Or the one everyone trusted? Everything began to change about 10,000 years ago. As humans settled down and started farming, they could store grain, raise livestock, and accumulate wealth. For the first time, resources could be inherited instead of shared every day. This transformed mate selection. Status was no longer measured only by health, courage, or generosity. Land, property, and power became powerful signals of success. The ancient connection between genuine biological fitness and social status became blurred. The instincts shaped during hundreds of thousands of years of evolution did not disappear. They simply had to operate in a world filled with new signals: money, prestige, and material possessions. But here is something worth thinking about. If you had to choose a life partner today, would you trust visible wealth more than proven character? Or do you believe generosity, resilience, and kindness still matter most beneath the surface? Share your answer in the comments. I'd love to know which qualities you think are timeless, and which ones are created by modern society. Today, our world looks nothing like the one our ancestors knew. We choose partners through dating apps, social media profiles, carefully edited photos, and first impressions that last only a few seconds. Yet the brain making those decisions is almost identical to the one that evolved over the last 300,000 years. That is the fascinating paradox. Modern technology has changed the signals we see, but it has not completely rewritten the instincts that interpret them. Evolutionary psychologists argue that humans still search for many of the same qualities that once predicted survival. Physical health may now be expressed through fitness rather than hunting ability. Generosity may appear through kindness, cooperation, or emotional support instead of sharing a successful hunt. Reliability is no longer measured by returning to camp with food, but by keeping promises, investing in relationships, and standing by loved ones during difficult times. Of course, none of this means attraction is simple or universal. Culture, personal experience, education, and individual preferences all shape what we find appealing. Human relationships are far too complex to be explained by biology alone. Evolution provides part of the story, not the entire story. Perhaps the biggest lesson is this: many qualities that truly mattered in prehistory are difficult to fake over time. Wealth can be gained or lost. Beauty changes with age. Fashion comes and goes. But resilience, generosity, honesty, and the willingness to invest in others reveal themselves through repeated actions. So here's a question for you. Do you think modern dating has made it harder to recognize these deeper qualities? Or do you believe people can still see past appearances and status to find genuine character? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective might inspire the next discussion in this series.